Well, joining us now on the phone to discuss further on Precious Owolabi's death is Dr. Jide Johnson. He's the Deputy Provost, Nigerian Institute of Journalism. It's good to have you join us, Mr. Johnson.
It's my pleasure to be with you on this sad day for journalism in Nigeria. This is one death too many, and I think that these are avoidable deaths, and it calls for a course of reflection in terms of the way we do our job, the way we go about our profession. There are deeper issues. One is the safety and security of journalists. Two is the safety and security of an average Nigerian. Three is how the police are trained and equipped to deal with protests. You will recall that during a rally in Lagos, some journalists were shot. There were no consequences for that. And this one, another journalist lost his life for covering a protest. Journalists were shot covering a political rally. A journalist was killed covering a protest by the Islamic group in Nigeria. So these are unwelcome development as far as I am concerned. And it's left for you and I to call government to question as regards to their responsibility. When we turn blind eyes to issues happening in the society, invariably it comes back to us, because were there consequences for those that were responsible for the shooting of journalists in Lagos APC rally? No. Were there consequences for when we saw video footage of the Nigerian military opening fire on protesters? No. Would there be consequences for what has happened now? No.
Well, Mr. Johnson, if I can come in there before we talk about the government's role. Now, for the media in Nigeria, yes, we know that we are free to an extent, but when it comes to insurance of the people who work with media houses, should that not be prioritized first before we even get to talk about government and security agencies?
It should be. One, that's why I said what I open up with is the safety and security of journalists. One, insurance is a component part of that. Two, is that are journalists equipped with the tools that is needed for them to cover protests, to cover political rallies, to cover war? Are they equipped with that? These are issues that we need to look into in our profession. So it's a moment of reflection for you and I to ask and require media organizations to do the needful. There are basic essentials that are required. If we want to operate based on the global standard practice, there are things that must be provided for an average journalist that is covering protests, that is covering rally, that is covering war or crisis somewhere.
Talk about
so
this.
I quite agree with you that there must be a comprehensive insurance policy. Okay. But the situation whereby even the media organizations are not even paying the basic salary of their staff. There are major media organizations that are not paying the salary of their staff. We are even talking about the insurance policy.
Very true.
And if something is wrong with the media, something is wrong with the society.
Okay, let's talk about the issue of the Shiites and the federal government. We know, following this story, that there have been several calls that the leader of the IMN be released. And recently, he has also spoken about his health issue, for which he was begging that he be allowed to go for treatment. But then we have had it deteriorate to this extent. What do we necessarily do to get government's attention? Because this is getting out of hand.
I think that the basic thing is that you should allow the law to take its course. Government is the people. Governments are the organs and institutions of government. The executive is not the government. The government is made up of the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. And but the symbolism of government is represented by the executive. So we must obey court orders. We must have respect for institutions of the state in order for us to have peace and harmony in society. For example, if court says you should release the leader, release the leader. Look within the law and prosecute the leader based on the extant law of the land. Are you getting my point? Yeah. And I think that hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think that if we operate within the extant laws of the land, there will be law and there will be order. But once you don't have respect for law, you can't have order, because law and order goes in place, goes together. Are you with me?
So in a situation where because you spoke about disobeying court orders, and we know that these arms of government work hand in hand to complement one another. Of course, they're as independent can be, but in a case where these court orders are being flouted and we're having this as a resultant effect, people are dying, cars are being vandalized and burned, and a police officer has been caught in that crossfire, 2 dead people already. How do we, the people, get the government to see the need to not flout these court orders so that we avoid a repeat of this?
By throwing spotlight on the issue. For example, the major Shiite nation in the world is Iran. You could see what Iran has done in seizing the British flag tanker ship. Are you getting my point? You could see what Iran did with American drones. Now, we shouldn't take steps to radicalize this group of people. And I think consultation, mediation will solve the problem, other than confrontation, other than using, I think the carrot and stick approach will be better. Government needs to negotiate with this group. Otherwise, we institutionalize another radicalized group in Nigeria.
Quickly,
and the earlier the government listens to this, the better. You know how many innocent citizens that have lost their life as a result of this? You know how many people that will suffer trauma from just being exposed to the footage of this carnage?
All right, finally, Doctor, before I let you go, do we see or envisage that the government's response would be positive? Do we see a turnaround to stop this, or do we see a prescription of this group that would further escalate issues and maybe it might get out of hand? What do you see?
We don't need escalation. What government needs to do is mediation. What government needs to do is to talk to the group. What government needs to do is to obey the court order that have been granted. And if someone to flout the law, there should be quick prosecution. And then once we have that, once there is fairness in the society, there will be law and order. That's my view.
From the body language of the government of the day as we speak right now, do you see that as a position that government might necessarily take?
I don't know what body language is, and a lot of that has been used severally, that the security agents are watching the body language, the minister are watching the body language. I'm not an expert in body language, but what I know is that for you to have peace in the society, there must be negotiation, there must be reconciliation, and we must have respect for law. If you have respect for law, there will be order. If you don't have respect for the law, there will be disorder. Basic simple, there are basic principles. Body language or no body language. Let's respect our extant law, let's discuss, and let's have a resolution to this problem. This issue of backing force with force has not solved any problem. And if you have an understanding of this group, you know how resolute they are, and we shouldn't radicalize another group in Nigerian society. We are still dealing with Boko Haram.
Okay.
We must not have an Hydra-headed problem from religious angle.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Jide Johnson, Deputy Provost, Nigerian Institute of Journalism. Thank you for speaking with us. We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
All right.